Okay, this is a video for the KZ acoustics. Apparently, they got a new name or a branch. It's a TWS True Wireless System Hybrid. It's got a dynamic driver and a balanced armature inside. These foam tips are not included. I put those there because you're going to probably need them. The tips that are included could not get a good fit and wouldn't stay in my ear the way that I think that it should for wireless. But it's just foam tips. It's not that big a deal. Music I use to come to my opinion: Tupac, Picture Me Rollin', Heart, Magic Man, Aerosmith, No More, No More, Radiohead, Pack Like Sardines, and a crushed tin can box. Comes with a charging cable, quality control, comes with instructions. Pairing with iPad Pro was very easy. Take it out, hold them both down at the same time. It'll tell you pairing, and then it'll confirm when it's been paired. iBasso DX160 was no problem. A Sony Xperia phone was also no problem. So I didn't have any issues. Sometimes ChiFi TWSs like give you a pin error or something. I had no problems with this whatsoever. Listening to, I'll start with Heart since it's right here. This is from the Dreamboat Annie. This is Magic Man. This is a rock group, so it's got a 4-string bass guitar, and it's not it's rather prominent. Almost sounds like a live show. On this set, I'm going to skip Tupac and go right to this. It sounded like the bass was a little bit less than I'm used to on what I usually listen to. So it didn't sound like it was rolled, but it sounded like it's really not. This is not a bassy set, and that kind of panned out the more I listened. The vocals sounded slightly emphasized. I don't have a graph on this because I don't do wireless graphs anymore because I can't do them correctly. But to my ears, it sounds like this is leaning towards the treble. It's definitely not a bassy set, which sometimes they'll do to like a pseudo noise canceling. Elevate the bass, block out the sound. They're not doing that with this set. It sounds like it's leaning towards the treble. So Magic Man sounded good. Resolution was decent, but it was vocal centric. And the vocals were taking the show, and the bass was a little bit less present than it usually is. Tupac, Picture Me Rollin'. Has it's like a triangle that's created on a mix deck, and it's sometimes will indicate, depending on its volume, if there's a dip or some roll off in the treble. Not at all. This was quite prominent. Not sibilant. Could this be? It could be. Not on this track, but where this exists is around that frequency. So music I listened to didn't bear it out, but that could possibly be an issue. Mid-frequency scoop doesn't seem to be the case, and that came about from Aerosmith. No More, No More. 3 things: Steven Tyler's vocals, the piano, which covers the entire frequency range, and cymbal strikes. The cymbal strikes sounded fairly prominent. Steven Tyler's vocals did not sound back, which I was semi-expecting because $30 KZ, I'm not expecting a lot. They do good stuff. The set that they released that had the hooks on it that people had connection issues with, I loved that set. I think that's the best one that they've released still to this day. I wish they would do a V2 of that set, KZ. That was really good. Give it another shot. That was good stuff. So this set it's sounding like, with the cymbal strikes, that it's treble emphasized. Steven Tyler's not back any further than usual, so it's not mid-scooped. The low frequency in this track doesn't seem... This is very, again, a vocal centric, and Steven Tyler generally sounds slightly back, and he rarely didn't, so I think that there's some treble emphasis on this set. Definitely not bass. And Radiohead. Amnesiac. This is a classic. Pack Like Sardines in a crushed tin box. The bass on this is very fast, and it's very impactful, and there's a da-dun, dun, da-dun, and a very low droning going on. If you're a Radiohead fan, love this. On my car audio system, absolutely sounded fantastic. This was proof that this is a slightly de-emphasized bass. Not de-emphasized, it's Bass to mid sounds reasonably decent, and it's submitting to an elevated treble. It's not metallic, harsh treble. It's just louder in its amplitude relative to the mids and the bass. So this would be a set based on what I've just listened to that would be appealing to people that like vocals. I guess people that like J-pop, K-pop, and stuff like that that's got a lot of high frequency, this will do that fine. If you're a bass head, you like a lot of low end, this might not be your cup of tea. If you don't like scoop mids, which should be all of us, that's not the problem with this. Problem with this is it doesn't come with foam tips, and it should, and it doesn't seem to have any kind of like noise canceling. And because it doesn't have the elevated bass, which is sometimes kind of like a pseudo noise canceling, your ability to perceive outside noises, maybe that's good so you don't get smashed by a car, but for this reviewer I would prefer a little bit more bass, and also foam tips included. And again, pairing was easy, so on the functional part, fine. So far I've listened for about 3.5 hours, no issues, no indication that something's not working. There's a battery indicator on the case, and also these will, when they're inside, indicate when they're fully charged. I think these are going to be on a crowdfund or something like that. I usually don't participate. These are my possession. I don't think a lot of people have it, and I also do my reviews using music, and I'm going to say that I think bass is not scooped, it's not rolled off, but it's not emphasized either. This is not a bassy set. Mid frequencies are not scooped either. The vocals are not gone, but the treble does sound like the star of the show. So if that's your thing, these might fit you perfectly, and they will definitely fit you better with some foam tips. So that's my music review. If I run into any issues, I'll update as I usually and always do. If there's some like, oh, that's a problem, I'll come back. But fundamentally, it works, it connects, it charges. There was no hiccups, and I'm busy now, so that would have been a problem, and I'd be pissed off doing my review. So this ramble is over. This is the KZ Acoustics. That's a cool name. S2, my final appeal to them, the one that had the hooks on it, I think that was like the E10 or something like that. That was so good. Revisit that, please. These will fit a certain group of people. Because I do sports, that hook one was great. Love it a lot. And I'm out. You guys take care. Like, seriously, take care of yourselves in this world that we're in right now. And I'm out.